Ops 2 multiplayer. We've seen it, we've played it. Chris, what are the most exciting things?
Guy, it all starts with the pick 10 system, and this is like, you've chosen your loadout in Call of Duty for years now. You know how it works. You pick from this list, you go into this list and sub-menu there. That's all out the window. It's now just a grid of primary weapon, secondary weapon, perks, attachments. Everything is worth 1 point.
Yeah.
Your gun's 1 point. An attachment is 1 point. A perk is 1 point. As long as you got 10 points, you're good to go. You could have no primary weapon. You could have 2 primary weapons because there's also wild cards.
Yeah.
These sort of subvert the loadout process. Allows you to pick 2 perks from the same perk tier, get a couple extra lethal or tactical grenades, or add a 3rd attachment to your weapon.
Do what you like. This is Treyarch really revolutionizing the multiplayer system, I think.
Just the whole loadout, they're really trying to get rid of all the cobwebs that have sort of built up over the years and make it easy. And I think one of my favorite features of that thing is how if you pick something that's a little too big, or you pick that 11th thing, it doesn't say, loadout not valid. It says, you picked too many things. Here's all the things you picked. Just take one off, you're good to go. Yeah. So it's very fluid.
This is obviously Call of Duty set in the future, 2025. There's some cool gadgets in there. Tell us what we can expect.
That's true. One of the big ones they're showing off is the Guardian, which is basically a big radar dish about the size of a man. It sits down, and it is an area denial thing. It just creates this wave of heat that you can't stand in, and if you go in there, you get kind of disoriented. Great for shutting down lanes, great for defending objectives. And that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's pretty good. One of the big things that they were talking about, well, actually, is again kind of refining what they had. Treyarch are going to have 55 levels you can get through, and then 10 prestige. And they say that's 20, like 55 levels, 24 hours of play for if you're one of the good guys at the game, and you go from there. What do you think? Is that realistic?
Well, I think that certainly gonna have to put in some work to get to level 55.
I think so as well.
They're being a little casual about it, but I think the interesting thing here is the difference between experience and your score streaks. So the numbers that you see popping up on screen in gameplay footage, that's not experience. That is score. That's going towards your score streak reward, which is the new reimagined kill streaks. Basically, this, again, it allows more flexibility. You can pick like a bunch, you can stack really low point score streaks and earn like 2 at a time, 3 at a time. And that's going to be different from your XP, but it's also going to feed back into it. So you call UAV, every teammate of yours that gets a UAV kill, you're getting score back for that, feeding into that, and it's also a way for them to drive players to objectives. You get more points if you're carrying the flag, if you're defending the flag, if you're on that capture point, and it's a way to reinforce team play with a gameplay mechanic.
Anything else that's piqued your interest, Chris? You went to Treyarch to actually play this game ahead of Gamescom.
Well, so I went to play the game, but more importantly, I went to shoutcast or codcast the game.
Nice.
And this is part of Treyarch's huge esports initiative. On a very basic level, this means that they're putting this game out there for people to compete in, to play in, and to watch playing. We saw these iPads going around earlier. They were showing just someone live streaming their game. This is, you can choose, boom, live stream. It's going to go out through your 360, through your PS3 to the internet. No extra hardware required. That's just you putting your gameplay out there. The other thing is codcasting, where it basically has built in an entire new kind of gameplay to Call of Duty, and it's a commentator, essentially. You don't play the game, but you're in the match. You can switch between every player's first-person view. You can pop out to the overhead map. You can see all sorts of information on how the game is going, and really build in and sort of build a narrative about the game, or just ham it up if you want. Basically a way to make this a performance for people who, whether or not they're skilled at the game or not, it's another way for someone to get into the game, and I think really a way to popularize watching competitive gaming to the mainstream.
Yeah, as the codcaster, you are the director. You choose what you want to do, and this is, they said esports. This is a big step for esports, isn't it? I think
it absolutely is, and Call of Duty, of course, one of the most popular video game franchises. It gets into millions of homes worldwide. That's the way that you're going to get esports and competitive gaming to become more popular, is by making that access point. And through codcasting, through live streaming, I think Black Ops 2 is really trying to do that.
All right, thanks, Chris. That's just some of the stuff you can expect from Call of Duty Black Ops 2. We got the full rundown available on GameSpot.com, so if you want to find out more about the game, head over there.